The Powerpuff Girls. They're made from sugar. They're made from spice. They're made from everything nice. Oh, and they're also made from the accidental spillage of a radioactive chemical, which is probably the reason why they were born without any fingers. See? No fingers. This fantastic trio of bobble-headed, stumpy-armed superheroes would be projected onto our television screens throughout the late 90s and the early 2000s. In 2002, the show was already well established and also quite popular. I mean, I used to watch it. Sometimes. It was also around that time that they would release this to the public. The Powerpuff Girls Relish Rampage on PlayStation 2. Let's have a look. Okay, so our cel-shaded migraine begins in the city of Townsville, where it just so happens to be election day, and it looks like the mayor has got some competition.
I'm Mojo Jojo, supervillain and running for mayor of Townsville. A vote for Mojo is a vote for evil geniuses everywhere.
This has been a paid advertisement by the Bananatarian Party.
Yeah, that's right. Mojo Jojo is running for mayor, but because no one really wants to vote for an evil criminal mastermind, Mojo Jojo decides to use brainwashing helmets to brainwash the people of Townsville by turning them into aggressive monkey brain morons whose core values include things such as a love for bananas and the throwing of feces. He recruits the help of the Gangrene Gang to help him in his diabolical plot to win the election. How can you sleep at night? I mean, seriously, how can you sleep at night? Your eyes are protruding out of your skull like hot dogs. I mean, how is that even possible? Can you enlighten me as to why your eyes are like hot dogs? Why are your eyes so erect? Well, I guess it's up to the Powerpuff Girls to save the day.
Come on, girls, let's roll!
And so we begin Chapter 1, Vote Mojo, and we're thrown straight into the action. So we've got Buttercup, Blossom, and Bobbles, and even though they are 3 separate characters, they are controlled as if they are one character. Sort of like a hive mind. Like bees, I guess. I suppose you could say they're like bees. Yes. We'll compare them to bees. Alright, so the mayor wants us to deliver some pickle-filled ballot boxes. That seems like a level-headed idea to me. This entire game basically consists of following an arrow around the map whilst trying to fight off nausea and dizziness from horrible camera controls. It's quite a challenge, but I'm always up for a challenge, even if I do end up with eyes like this guy. Okay, so we delivered the pickles. I'm not sure why we delivered the pickles, but we delivered the pickles, so... there we go. Okay, so next we have to do something that's actually productive. The professor wants us to get one of the brainwashing helmets from the Gangrene Gang to see if that's the reason why the citizens have access to an unlimited supply of bananas. I mean, it makes sense to me. Ha! I found you, green boy! I'm going to punch you now over and over again until something happens, and we'll just wait and see how you enjoy it. Are you enjoying it? This is enjoyable. I'm relentless. Your evil helmet-wearing days are over, and my stumpy little arms have beat you into submission. Okay, we've got the helmet. Let's head back to the professor. Hopefully that's the end of it.
Great work, girls. Now, I need a second helmet to continue my research.
Oh, really? A second helmet? I wonder what you want next. Maybe a third helmet? How many helmets will it take to satisfy you, Professor? Your hunger for helmets knows no bounds. This time it's slightly more difficult because we're being shot at by evil rays and I'm finding it quite hard to dodge them. Luckily, this trash can I found does do a lot of damage and it allows us to destroy the satellite of evil. That's what we'll call this thing. Before we take on Hot Dog Eyes, I decide that it's probably a good idea to find some health first, and also another trash can. You can never go wrong with a well-aimed trash can. It's a great solution to most problems. The amount of damage that trash can just did is unprecedented. Never before has a trash can caused so much pain to an individual. I can think of no better way to deplete his remaining tiny sliver of health than by using an extremely overpowered special attack. Very good. We shall remember you fondly, Hot Dog Eyes, for you were indeed a worthy opponent. It seems we've satisfied the professor's helmet hunger for now. Right, next mission. The mayor wants us to stop Princess Moorbox from throwing bags of money around for some reason. I should also mention that you are able to switch between the Powerpuff Girl characters. They all share the same health bar, so there's not really any benefit to switching. They do have their own special moves, but again, there isn't really any benefit to this unless seeing a different kind of animation makes your life better somehow. Okay, so after stealing all of the money, Princess Moorbox threatens us with legal action, and that's the end of that. So yeah. So by using his brilliant mind, the professor has come to the conclusion that the Gangrene Gang and their brainwashing helmets are the reason behind the citizens of Townsville being brainwashed. Well done, Professor. You've really outdone yourself this time.
I'll make monkeys out of you girls.
Yeah, well, I'll just punch you until you die. See?
It's time to vote with our fists.
Yes, because if there's one thing that democracy has taught us, it's that using your fists is the answer for everything. So now at this stage, we have to use our fists to beat the monkey brains out of people, and this somehow results in them being thankful and appreciative of the fact that we are beating them to a pulp.
Thank you, Powerpuff Girls.
You're welcome.
Well done, girls. You got all those poor people back to normal again.
Yes, all it took was a can-do attitude and a tendency towards resorting to the use of my stumpy fists. After some collecting of pickle boxes, beating up vans, and asking what the hell is that thing? What the hell is that thing? We finally make it to what I guess you would call our first boss fight.
The only criminal mastermind that could be behind this plot is none other than Mojo Jojo.
Really? You think so? So the boss fight involves us being shot at by these satellites of evil, not really sure what else to call them. And Mojo Jojo is running around and he's also shooting at us. And because there are so many things being shot at us all the time, it makes it very hard to avoid being shot. I decide to take out all the satellites of evil first so that there are less ray beams for me to avoid. And also there is a chance of the satellites of evil dropping either health or chemical X, which is the thing that allows us to use our super special moves. This boss fight was frustrating, I'll be honest. I did die a lot. It honestly made me question my skill as a gamer. Really did. But I did persist, as all gamers should, and eventually I did it. My dodging skills began to increase, at least that's what I told myself, and the satellites of evil dropped a lot of health on the final attempt as well, which was lucky for me, and I found that if I just circled around Mojo Jojo whilst punching him in his stupid face, then he couldn't really shoot me, so there you go, that's how I beat him. Obviously Mojo Jojo is upset about not winning the election.
Could this be? My plans for tax reform and increased spending on education and the arts were brilliant! How could he beat me?
What can we say? You just can't beat a free pickle.
Free pickles? Free pickles? All the people of Townsville want are free pickles! Ah!
And little does Mojo Jojo know that by uttering this phrase, he inadvertently attracts the attention of some pickle aliens.
By the almighty pickle, who is this great defender of cucumber kind? Unleash the pickle pods. Target, Townsville.
So now we have pickle aliens invading, whilst at the same time, the mayor is opening a pickle museum because obviously, yeah. So this Mitch kid decides that instead of going to the pickle museum, he's going to try and find himself some real fun.
Pickle schmickle, I'm gonna go find me some real fun.
And that fun, of course, involves devouring a pickle who's clearly screaming. But that doesn't seem to faze him. By consuming this poor helpless pickle, Mitch Mitchelson has become the queen of the pickleoids, and that's when we move on to the next chapter, Odds and Pods. This game doesn't change much, we're still spending all of the time following the all-knowing arrow. We do a variety of things like pulling kids out of dumpsters and forcing them into an education, fighting a bunch of acid-spraying pickle-headed freaks, getting a bunch of jewellery back to the bank, fighting more acid-spraying pickle-headed freaks, and beating up the cast of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I am the queen of the pickleoids, ruler of the pickleoids.
Oh, I almost forgot about you. I guess this is a boss fight. It doesn't really feel like a boss fight. Unlike the fight with Mojo Jojo, there isn't much difficulty involved. We just keep hitting him and hitting him and hitting him until eventually his health reaches 0 and he spits out this kung fu pickle.
Powerpuff Girls, laser eyes.
And with that, the day is saved. In a desperate attempt to succeed, the pickle aliens decide to kidnap the mayor and turn him into a pickle.
Powerpuff Girls, help!
Powerpuff Girls, it's time for action. Get the dynamo suits. Let's do it.
And that brings us to the next stage of the game entitled Jaw Wars. So we have the dynamo suits, great. I mean, they don't add anything. They don't increase our health or give us any new moves, but we do have them. So I suppose there's that. This part of the game involves much of the same, punching things with our stumpy fists until there's nothing left to punch. Eventually, Mojo Jojo decides that he wants to help the Powerpuff Girls by constructing a new weapon known as the Anti-Pickle Ray. It gives us a list of items needed to build the weapon. So after we've collected a microwave oven, a canister of highly flammable gas, and a lawnmower, we are now fully equipped to take on the alien pickle overlords. The professor then lets us know that he somehow managed to find his way into the pickle mothership.
Uh-oh, I think they've spotted me. Oh no!
Well, we were heading that way anyway, so, I mean, we might as well help him, I guess. The final stage of the game is known as Inner Pickle, and it's at this stage that we've got to blast our way through and free a bunch of people from Pickle Jar Prison, whilst at the same time fighting off a group of angry pickles who appear to be wielding giant sets of cutlery. Once complete, we have to now save the mayor and the professor from the central brining unit. To do this, we have to destroy 4 of these pickly force field generating thingies whilst avoiding these pickly tentacles before the time runs out. This final showdown does prove difficult and those tentacles are hard to avoid, but with absolutely no health left in my health bar and just 1 second left on the timer, I managed to make it by the skin of my teeth.
We have suffered enough pickle kicking for one day. Let us escape so that we may return to fight again. Emergency boosters full throttle, on to Jargon!
And with that, the Pickles make their escape to attempt another invasion elsewhere. Townsville is an absolute wreck, and the Powerpuff Girls celebrate a job well done.
Landing zone locked in, your Dillness.
Excellent, bring us down. No sign of any resistance. This should be an easy victory.
Did you remember to bring the pickles? Well, I thought you did. And so, once again, the day is saved, thanks to the Jargonian Ice Toad.
Hey!
And, of course, the Powerpuff Girls. Anybody got a pickle?
And that's it. That's the end of the game. So there you have it. That was the Powerpuff Girls Relish Rampage. The game was okay. It had some funny moments, although it was very short. But I don't really see what else they could have added with the design that they had for the game. It was getting a bit samey towards the end. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like it. It does help me out a great deal. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.